Hello everyone, Minute Plus Meditation here, Friday, September the 29th. It is the feast day of the three archangels, Michael, Raphael, and Gabriel. First reading, I usually take it from the Old Testament, but in this case, the New Testament selection from the book of Revelation mentions the name of Michael. In my vision, war broke out in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon. The dragon and his angels fought back, and they were defeated, and there was no longer any place in heaven for them. The great dragon was thrown down, the ancient serpent who is called the devil and Satan, the deceiver of the whole world. He was thrown down to the earth, and his angels were thrown down with him. What's important for us to remember a couple of things. Number one, these heavenly spirits are ministering spirits for us. I mention this all the time. Hebrews 1:14. So we need to call upon them to assist us in the spiritual battle, in our daily walk, our daily journey, and ultimately getting to heaven. They will come to our assistance. But we better be prepared to act in accord with God's will, because the angels are talk about black and white creatures. When God says something, it's done. Like there's no wavering, there's no vacillating, it's done, period. There's no questioning, it's done, period. It's like the angel of the Lord declared unto Mary, I am the handmaid of the Lord, let it be done to me according to thy word. She only asks one question for clarification, it's done. Mary, in a way, is, she's superior in grace to the angels. However, so back to the angels, the ministering spirits call upon them. But what's important for us, now, I think this is correct. First of all, Michael is not that archangel's name per se, it's his function. Who is like God? What is his name? I don't think we'll know that till we actually, God willing, get to heaven. And then we'll find out the name of the angels. But right now, this is a function. Who is like God? So, is it wrong to call him Michael? Of course not. But I think what I just said is correct. So it's a good thing to pray with great devotion. The St. Michael the Archangel prayer, we pray that in Vancouver after every Mass. And it's important that we pray it many times, perhaps through the day, along with the Guardian Angel prayer that's coming up in a couple of days. But the other thing is they fought with the dragon, right? But it wasn't like we're not sure who's going to win. The devil is no rival to God. Remember that. The devil is no rival to God. The devil had no chance to defeat Michael and his angels because God is behind his angels, his holy angels. And Satan has no chance, period. He thinks he does because he's arrogant and he's proud. He has no chance, period. So he's no rival to God. As we must remember this, very important. Over to the Gospel, John chapter 1. This is Nathanael or Bartholomew. When Jesus saw Nathanael coming toward him, he said of him, here is truly an Israelite in whom there is no deceit. Nathanael asked him, where did you get to know me? Jesus answered, I saw you under the fig tree before Philip called you. Nathanael replied, Rabbi, you are the Son of God, you are the King of Israel. It sounds like a real leap, doesn't it? But it's not. There is something you have to really dig. You can't really know what's going on here until you kind of dig with some commentaries. You can pray this, but it's ultimately knowing the Old Testament. When you put a couple of pieces together, as I've read through different commentaries, and I'm going by memory here, so I could get a few things wrong. But Nathanael, when Jesus says, I saw you under the fig tree, the Messiah in the Old Testament was associated with a fig tree. Was seeing under a fig tree. And so Nathanael, Jesus is over here and he can't see over here and there's no emissaries. He's got no cell phone, right? He doesn't know he's the Son of God. So he's over here, miles away in another town, and Jesus says, I saw you under the fig tree. The fig tree, but I saw you under the fig tree. When he was under the fig tree, and Nathanael says, this can't be natural. The Messiah fig tree, he saw me, he knows where I was, saw me exactly, and he knows my heart. All of a sudden, boom, he gets this almost an inspiration / revelation. You are the Son of God. So you are the King of Israel. You are the Son of God. But it's not the same confession of faith, you see, that Peter will make in Matthew 16. You are the Christ, the Son of the living God. Blessed are you, Simon, son of John. So it's not the same content of the words. Otherwise, Jesus would have said, blessed are you, Nathaniel, right? But Jesus said, blessed are you, Simon, son of John. So this is what's going on here. So what am I, one takeaway is know your Old Testament. We should be reading the Old Testament. And when something like this happens, try, if you have a few commentaries around, you should try to have a few commentaries. They don't always answer every question we have, but if you do and you look it up, you might be enlightened, or at least try in many Bibles, they'll have reference points to the Old Testament, and go back to the Old Testament and actually read those passages, from the Old Testament, from the prophets. You say, that's so, and it'll increase your knowledge. So know the Old Testament, okay? God bless you.